Yo, what is up, boys? Today is the fourth episode of Cree Talk, and today we are going to be talking about Ecclesiastes 4:10 through 11. Right, and that says, "For if they fall, the one will lift up his fellow, but woe to him that is alone when he falleth, for he hath not another to help him up. Again, if two lie together, then they have heat, but how can one be warm alone?" Right, this is a very, very hard pill I had to swallow. And you see all this stuff online, talking about, isolate yourself, red pill, red pill, red pill. Y'all might look at me as the red pill guy because I wake up 5 a.m. I used to wake up at 4:30, and I'm all about discipline. Okay, but there's an extent to that. A lot of the red pill stuff is just talking about isolation, that you need to lock yourself out of your room and work for 3 years straight until something works out. And I'm telling you right now, you will make yourself go crazy doing that, because I have experienced that on my own. And let me tell you, dude, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. I 100% believe, if you are a big partier, if you are very, very tempted with your friends that you are around with, they're not good influences on you, then yes, I do believe isolation for a short period of time is very, very crucial. Okay, but if you have friends and they're real friends, okay, they're not dragging you into vices. Okay, they're not trying to get you to do these different things, that aren't good for you, right? They're picking on you for, you going all in on whatever you're doing. Okay, get rid of those people. Flush those people out. You don't need those people in your life. Okay, but if you do have a few friends that are actually real friends, hold them close. Hold them close and truly cherish the relationship that you have with him. Okay, because if you go all in on this stuff for years at a time, lock yourself in a room, you're going to drive yourself crazy, because I've done that, right? Last year, it was pretty much the first full year that I've ever traded. And let me tell you, last year was the hardest year that I've ever had in my entire life. The hardest year I've ever had in my entire life. And you know why? First of all, it was trading, yes. But it was the environment I was in. I was in an environment, I was in college, and I hated being up there. So what did I do? I isolated myself. I didn't go out of my room. I didn't even go and get my meals every single day. I sat inside and ate every single day. I didn't go to the gym. I worked out inside. I had dumbbells. Every single day I isolated myself. And it got to a point where I couldn't stand it anymore. My mind was constantly on trading. My mind was constantly on success, and I was just having an internal battle against myself because I couldn't figure out why none of this stuff was working. And it was because I was going full force, foot on the throttle all the way for a year and a half straight. And I cut everything out in my life besides trading and work. And I used to always think, you need to go all in. You need to cut everything out. You need to have a period of time, which I thought was going to be multiple years until I became profitable, and then I'll balance my life. You know what David Goggins liked to say? He said, once you become great is when you balance. There's no balance in between or before. And I somewhat agree with this, but at the same time, no. And going through that phase that I went through last year, I would never want anyone to go through that, and it just, until you actually go through it, you understand it just truly tears you apart. And, especially if you're not successful in whatever you're doing, because isolating yourself and not having any communication throughout the day, face to face. It is a little different online, but you need that face to face, companionship or friendship. And, I'm talking about both friendship, your parents, companionship with a girlfriend or boyfriend, if you're a male or female. All these things are very, very important. Okay? I have learned, though, an extreme balance. an extreme balance through the past few months. You know, realizing that I am so far in this journey of trading that continuing to wake up every single day at 4:30 a.m. and put 10 hours of work every single day into the charts, every single day into my social media, and that's all I do. I have no hobbies. I have no communication outside of this. It's going to kill me sooner or later, because it got to a point where I could not handle it anymore. I can't express how bad of a position I was in, just because I cut myself off from the world for a year straight. Let me tell you, last summer I did not do one thing last summer. The only thing I did fun and went outside of the house, the one time I went to a concert, and that was for a few hours. That was it. The entire summer, my blinds were closed in my game room, and all I did every single day, waking up at 4:30 and working 10 hours a day. Every single day. Did not talk to anyone, didn't go out, nothing. And yes, I do believe something like that is very, very needed. Okay, you need to lock in. You need to lock in, especially if you are very undisciplined. And for me, I was a little undisciplined, yes, because all I did was game, 10 hours a day, 12 hours a day. 14 hours a day I used to play Ark. I was cooked during the summer, 2 summers ago. If you come from a background of, addiction and no discipline, you need to have a period of fully focusing on what you want to achieve in this life. And doing that for 6 months, you need to do that. I believe you need to isolate yourself. You need to go all in, cut the distractions, everything, okay? Except, obviously, people that are good in your life, people that support you in your life, okay? Those people you will always want to hang around, be around, okay? But you need to have a period of time where you're fully focused, man. You need to have a period of time where you're fully focused. And I believe 6 months is perfect. You need to lock in, bro. But past that point, once you understand the market, especially with the market, man, it's so psychology based. It's all up here, man. And if you are so stressed because you're working so much, if you are just like constantly thinking about success, why am I not successful? Why am I not making money? You're going to have worse trading results, bro. You're not going to achieve your goals. You can't like attack it for too long, bro. You can't just have it. I know you want it so bad and I want it so bad, but you got to let God do his thing. You got to work every single day towards your goals. You got to do what you need to do at the same time of trusting in God and what he has planned for you, and not trying to brute force your way to success like I was. But for real, man, lock in. 6 months, lock in. Isolate yourself 100%. Go all in. Past that point, learn balance. Focus on other areas outside of your life, because if not, you're never going to be your fullest potential by yourself. You'll never be warm in a bed if it's just 1. 2 or more is what makes that warmth. That community is what brings the best out of you. That relationship with that girl, that relationship with a friend, that is what truly brings the best part out of you. But if you haven't mastered yourself, especially when I'm talking about a girl, if you have not learned true discipline, if you haven't went through the stuff that you need to go through, if you're not chasing your goals and trusting in God, and you're seeking a girl first, my bad, boys, my thing muted again because the temperature is too hot, the phone was way too hot. So I'm going to finish this up quickly. You're missing the whole point, right? You need to focus on your goals first before anyone else. I do believe that, right? Especially in the beginning. But you get to a point where companionship, friendship is what matters, man. It matters a lot. And it keeps you sane. It really keeps you sane. So to finish off this video quickly, y'all need to watch this movie called Magazine Dreams. Go look it up on, it's called GoMovies.x or Go Movies. It's a little sketchy, but you'll be able to watch it for free. I did it, and it is a really messed up movie. It's about a bodybuilder and isolation, and it truly tears him apart to the point where he snaps. So if y'all are like that and y'all are like me, and finding that isolation is better than everything else, I need to focus 100% on my goals. If not, I'm a fail. Y'all need to watch that movie. Sorry, my thing literally keeps on cutting out, but end the video quickly. Appreciate y'all boys for being here. If y'all want to join the Discord, it's completely free. It's called Creed. That will be left down in the description, and I hope y'all boys have a blessed day. I will see y'all boys tomorrow. Peace out.